Good morning, students of class 5. Students, I'm sure all of you are happy and healthy. Students, in my last video, I had written and explained the word meanings of poem for foreign land, and I'm sure all of you must have written the poem for foreign lands and the word meanings neatly in your English notebook. Now, children, today I'm going to continue with poem 4, Foreign Lands. I'm going to recite and explain this poem to you. So all of you, please take out your English notebooks and your Wordsworth English Reader book. Turn the page to page 83. Children, please take out your English notebook and Wordsworth English Reader book. Turn the page to page 83, poem 4, Foreign Lands, composed by Robert Louis Stevenson. So, first of all, children, I'm going to recite this poem to you and then I'm going to explain. Foreign Lands by Robert Louis Stevenson. Up into the cherry tree, who should climb but little me? I held the trunk with both my hands and looked abroad on foreign lands. I saw the next door garden lie, adorned with flowers before my eye, and many pleasant places more that I had never seen before. I saw the dimpling river pass, and be the sky's blue looking glass, the dusty roads go up and down, with people tramping into town. If I could find a taller tree, farther and farther, I should see to where the grown-up river slips into the sea among the ships, to where the roads on either hand lead onward into fairyland, where all the children dine at 5 and all the playthings come alive. Now, children, this poem is written by the poet Robert Louis Stevenson. Robert Louis Stevenson was born in 1850 and he passed away in 1894. He was a Scottish novelist and travel writer. He is also the writer of famous books Treasure Island, Kidnap, and The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Now, children, we all know that if we climb a tree, a tall building, or a mountain, we will be able to see many more things than we could see from the ground. So, we have not seen many things from the ground, and we can see all those things if we climb a taller structure. Now, the first stanza. This children poem has got 5 stanzas. And the first stanza is, up into the cherry tree, who should climb but little me? I held the trunk with both my hands and looked abroad on foreign lands. Now, in this particular poem, the poet imagined himself as a child and he's saying, up into the cherry tree. है ना? कि cherry tree के ऊपर, who should climb but little me? And who's going to climb the cherry tree? Little me means a child. The poet imagined himself as a child and then he's saying, I'm going to climb the cherry tree. I held the trunk with both my hands. Now, what do you mean by held? Held means to hold. Trunk, जो if you climb a tree, कभी आपने देखा आप जब tree climb करते हो तो उसका जो trunk है आप अपने दोनों हाथ से पकड़ के ही grip बना के and then you climb. So, held means to hold and trunk means, all of you know, जो पेड़ का तना होता है वो. And looked abroad on foreign lands. Now, and once the child has climbed the tree, the child will look in different directions. है ना? चढ़ने के बाद आप north, south, east, west सारे directions में आप देखते हो and you will see foreign lands. Now foreign, what do you mean by the word foreign? Foreign means unknown, जिसको आपने पहले कहीं नहीं कभी नहीं देखा हो तो उसको foreign बोलते हैं. तो after climbing the cherry tree, the poet sees new lands which he has not seen from the land. Now the second stanza. I saw the next door garden lie, adorned with flowers before my eye, and many pleasant places more that I had never seen before. Then the poet says कि next door, ठीक next door means neighbor. Neighboring में मेरे garden है, which the poet had never seen uh, before from the ground. And the moment he climbed the cherry tree, he could see the beautiful garden which is lying next door, adorned with flowers before my eye, decorated with different flowers. That means उस garden में बहुत सारे flowers, flowering plants हैं, and many pleasant places more that I had never seen before. And the poet who imagined himself as a child says कि गार्डन में बहुत सारे फ्लावर्स लगे हुए हैं और उसके अलावा प्लेजेंट प्लेसेस, प्लेजेंट मीन्स गुड टू लुक एट, जिसको देख के बहुत अच्छा लगे. पोएट ने बहुत सारी प्लेजेंट प्लेसेस देखी जो उसने पहले कभी नहीं देखी है. आई सॉ द डिम्पलिंग रिवर पास. डिम्पलिंग जैसे आप स्माइल करते हो, आपके चेहरे पे गड्ढे पड़ते हैं ना, डिम्पल्स पड़ते हैं कुछ लोगों के, तो द सेम वे पोएट कहता है कि रिवर में मैंने रिवर देखी डिम्पलिंग, जैसे उसमें डिम्पल्स पड़े थे वैसे. एंड वी दी स्काई इज ब्लू लुकिंग ग्लास. और स्काई कैसा है, जैसे कि ग्लास नहीं होता है वैसा, इतना क्रिस्टल क्रिस्टल क्लियर स्काई. दी डस्टी रोड्स गो अप एंड डाउन. डस्टी मीन्स जब भी रोड्स पे, स्पेशली जो पक्की रोड्स नहीं होती हैं उन पे डस्ट होती है. एंड व्हेन व्हीकल पास, और कोई भी पास होता है तो डस्ट उड़ती है. एंड डस्टी रोड्स देखो अप एंड डाउन. और दूर से कभी रोड देखोगे तो वो आपको स्ट्रेट नहीं दिखेगी, वो आपको जिगजैग ही दिखेगी. विथ पीपल ट्रैम्पिंग इनटू टाउन. एंड लोग जो है उस रोड पे वॉक करके कहाँ जा रहे हैं, टाउन की तरफ. इफ आई कुड फाइंड अ टॉलर ट्री फादर एंड फादर आई शुड सी टू वेयर द ग्रोन अप रिवर स्लिप्स इनटू द सी अमंग द शिप. एंड द पोएट सेज कि आई विश, मुझे जिस ट्री पे मैं चढ़ाऊं उससे भी कोई टॉलर ट्री मिल जाए, है ना. और उस टॉलर ट्री पे चढ़ने के बाद फादर एंड फादर में दूर दूर तक, और जितना टॉलर स्ट्रक्चर होगा उतनी दूर की चीजें आपको दिखेंगी. टू वेयर द ग्रोन अप रिवर स्लिप्स, की जो रिवर है, ग्रोन अप रिवर मीन्स बिग रिवर, है ना, कि वो जो रिवर है वो कहाँ जाके स्लिप करती है. जनरली रिवर्स जो एंड में वो सी में जाके मिल जाती हैं. एंड द पोएट सेज कि मैं देखना चाहता हूं कि कहाँ ये जो ग्रोन अप रिवर है कहाँ जाके सी में मिलती है, और उस सी में जहाँ पे शिप्स है. नाउ द लास्ट स्टेंजा. टू वेयर द रोड्स ऑन ईदर हैंड लीड ऑनवर्ड इनटू फेरी लैंड, कि वहां ऐसी मुझे रोड्स देखनी है जो खत्म होती दोनों साइड जाती हैं और वो आगे जाके फेरी लैंड, परियों के लैंड में मिलती है. वेयर ऑल दी चिल्ड्रन डाइन एट 5, जहाँ पे उस फेरी लैंड में सारे बच्चे शाम को 5 o'clock पे डिनर कर लेते हैं. एंड ऑल दी प्ले थिंग्स कम अलाइव, और उस फेरी लैंड में जितने भी खेलने की चीजें हैं वो सब उनमें लाइफ आ जाती है. सो दिस इज वॉट द पोएट इमेजिन्स फ्रॉम द चाइल्ड point of view. And the name of the poem is foreign land, which means कि वो सारे lands जो पोएट ने पहले कभी नहीं देखा है, वो पोएट ने कब देखा, ट्री को क्लाइम करने के बाद. So I hope the poem is clear to you. Now children, you need to write down the poem and the word meanings in your notebook. Now let's start with comprehension exercise. And exercise A has to be done in the book itself. Exercise A is the poet climbs up a tree and is filled with wonder. Wonder means surprise at the things he can see. Can you recount them? Okay. The first one is the poet could see a dash next door which was full of dash. So, what did the poet see next door? So, the poet see a garden, right? Garden in the first plant next door, which was full of flowers. The garden was decorated with flowers. Fine. Then, the second one. He saw a dash river which seemed to mirror the dash sky. So, right, he saw a dimpling river which seemed to mirror the blue sky. Right? Dimpling in the first line and blue in the second one. Then the third one. The roads were dash and people were dash on it on their way to dash. So, the roads were dusty and people were tramping on it on their way to town. So, I hope all of you have written these three blanks. I'll read it out once for you. The poet could see a garden next door which was full of flowers. Second, he saw a dimpling river which seemed to mirror the blue sky. Third, the roads were dusty and people were tramping on it on their way to town. So I hope all of you have done, children. So now I'm going to erase and write the fourth one. Now the fourth one. He thinks that if he could climb a taller tree, he would much dash. So he thinks that if he could climb a taller tree, he would be able to see much farther. और दूर दूर तक. Fine. Now, the fifth one. He would be able to see where the dash slips into the dash among the ships. So, he would be able to see where the river, right, river slips into the sea. नदी जहां पे सी में जाके मिलती है. Then the sixth one. Perhaps he would also be able to follow roads to the horizon. Beta, horizon, a place where it seems the earth and the sky they appear to meet. Actually में ऐसा नहीं होता है, but ऐसा दूर से लगता है कि earth और sky मिल रहे हैं, but that's just imaginary. So that is known as horizon, from where they lead into the dash. So write fairy land. Okay. So perhaps he would also be able to follow roads to the horizon from where they lead to the fairy land. Clear? I hope all of you have written. Fourth, I'll read it once for you, then I'll erase. He thinks that if he could climb a taller tree, he would be able to see much farther. Fifth, he would be able to see where the river slips into the sea among the ships. Sixth, perhaps he would also be able to follow roads to the horizon from where they lead into fairyland. Now children, I'm going to erase and write the seventh one. And the seventh one is the poet would know for sure then that in this make-believe world the dash time at 5 and when they go to bed, all our toys come dash. So, the poet would know for sure that in this make-believe world, the children dine at 5. That means the children have their dinner at 5, and when they go to bed, all our toys come alive. जितने भी खेलने की चीजें हैं उनमें life आ जाती है. So with this children, we have finished our exercise A of comprehension, and I'm sure all of you have completed it. Clear? So, fine. Now children, one thing more before I end today's video children. If we look at the poem, let's mark the rhyming words of the poem. Fine. Now, in the first stanza, please mark the last word of the first line, tree. It rhymes with the second line's last word, me. So, tree and me, they are rhyming. Then, the last word of the third line, hands. It rhymes with the last word of the fourth line, lands. Hands, lens. Tree, me, hands, lens. Okay. Then, the second stanza. Last word of the first line, lie. It rhymes with the second line's last word, I. Lie, I. Then, the third line's last word, more, rhymes with the fourth line's last word, before. More, before. So, these are all rhyming words. Rhyming words which have got the same sound. Then the third stanza. If you look at the last word of the first line, that is pass, it rhymes with the last word of the second line of the third stanza, glass. Pass, glass. Then the the third line's last word, down, it rhymes with the fourth line's last word, town. Down, town. Then the fourth stanzas, first line's last word, tree, it rhymes with the second line's last word, see. Tree, see. Then fourth stanza's third line's last word, slips, it rhymes with the fourth line's last words, ships. Slips, ships. If you turn the page, the last stanza, fifth stanza, first line's last word, hand, it again rhymes with the second line's last word, land, and then the last two lines, last words, 5, rhymes with alive. So, these are the rhyming words of this poem. Fine, I hope all of you have marked. So, with this, I end today's video, children. Now, in my next video, I'll be continuing with the question and answers and creative writing. So, that's all for today. Thank you, students. Complete your work and revise and recite the poem. Have a good day ahead.